Well, if you've been in the One Direction fandom long enough, or whether you're new, you might have heard about the Larry Stylinson conspiracy theory. Now, I'm not here to argue for or against it. All I'm saying is that there's some kind of themes around the storyline that are worth talking about because number one, I don't think the fans that believe that there is or was a real romance between Harry and Louis are that off base for a number of reasons. For example, bearding is still a common industry practice in the music business. Secondly, you have examples from Lance Bass of NSYNC. You've got examples from Stephen Gately of Boyzone, and of course from Jordan Knight of New Kids on the Block. So there's been a couple of generations of boy bands where the there was closeting going on because of the fear that if that came out that the person didn't like girls, that there would be damage to the financial profits. Um, Lance Bass was interviewed about this, and he said that statistically, 1 in 4 members of a boy band are not straight. Now, I'm not sure where he got that statistic, but let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just go with that. It's not that far off. And if you watch a lot of the early footage of the band, like the X Factor Diaries, what the fans were picking up on was a kind of non-verbal communication in the interactions between Lou and Harry. There were the eye glances, the body language, the touches, the smiles. I I didn't realize Harry Styles had such a wide grin because I didn't become a fan until he had left the band, until like 3 or 4 years after he left the band. So the odd thing is, I never knew he smiled like that and he scrunched his nose like that. But he did a lot when he was in the band, when Louis was around. I think, again, part of me thinks I think these people are onto something. But it's sort of a human rights issue that you see these two people that if it was true that the management really interfered with the relationship because they felt that Harry being such a moneymaker was they couldn't give that up. They had to closet them. Then I think it was really a sign of short-sightedness with the management at the time, which I think the name Psycho was so telling, because if you look at like the zeitgeist in society, and the fans were picking up on this, and it was such a thing. If they had just let them be, if they really were together, I think that if anything, the management missed out on what could have been an even bigger phenomenon of a musical group because they were selling out stadiums. They really were the Beatles 2.0, and there would have just been more fans, I think, that would have come to One Direction that didn't because they were really making them come out as like they're really having them presented as such a heteronormative band. So it's really an issue of human rights that if Louis and Harry were not allowed to love each other, that is horrible. And if you think of how young they were, because Harry was not yet legally an adult, if this was happening, where they were being emotionally abused by by the accounts that come out from say Jedward and just there's a reason why Psycho's not around anymore. It went bankrupt. Um, it's honestly, I think the fans should have filed a CPS report on Simon if this was really going on. Um, but nonetheless, I do see that the Larry Stylinson phenomenon. It's 15 years old, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. I think it's a testament to how much the fans want to support them. But I also think that it's an archetype for things that for so many years people could not love who they loved. And I think that that's what is resonating with so many people. So all I can say is that if these two really were together, hopefully their love was strong enough and it ended not because of interference from a psycho, the management team. And if they are still together, then they don't owe it to anyone to actually confirm it because they had their privacy violated so much for half their lives now, they have a right to have something to themselves. And I think the fans have to just respect that. Um, Another thing I wanted to add was that if you look at some of the stories of Mick Jagger and David Bowie, there was a lot of speculation for a long time that they too had more than just a bromance, that they were really in love with each other, and it did not detract from Jagger's solo career, did not detract from the Stones, it did not detract from Bowie. So if anything, the early precursors of this sort of romance thing tells you that if the fans are there, they're there. They don't care. So if these two are together, then you know what? I hope they have the most amazing, smashing Valentine's Day. Whether or not they ever tell the fans the truth, if that is the truth, because I don't know what the truth is. All I know is that I think it's the most amazing love story, and it has nothing to do with it being an amazing love story because it's about two men. I think it's just an amazing love story anyway, regardless of the fact that it's not heteronormative. Um, but I really do hope that in future that this kind of thing is not done because let's give ourselves some credit. I think people love stories, and these two are so adorable together that honestly, I don't think it would have ruined anything. But nonetheless, you know what, Larry, if you're real, we love you.